Constructing your life is about much more than just building a bank account. Each week, join real estate entrepreneur and mindset coach Austin Linney as he interviews guests who are constructing their dream lives and impacting the world around them on a daily basis. If you're an entrepreneur or wanting to start a business, or you just want to hear motivating stories of how others have overcome the odds, you are in the right place. And now for your host, Austin Linney.
Guys, welcome back to Construct Your Life. We have, we don't even call him by his name. We just call him the killer. That's what we do. We don't and we appreciate him taking time out of his 15 bajillion things that he's doing to come talk to us, Mr. Adrian Salazar. How you doing, my brother?
Great, man. Thank you.
It's a pleasure, dude. Guys, This is my dude, man. This is my guy. I've had conversations with this dude at like 4 a.m. when I was out in the desert and he was still working and back in Texas. So, like-minded individuals. But we've had you and your partner on the podcast before. I wanted to have you back on because a lot of things have changed. You've done some traveling, which I'm excited to kind of see how you felt about all that. But kind of give us a brief overview and kind of where you are currently, and then we'll kind of go from there.
Sure. So, I think as last time we spoke, I'm going to grab my charger real quick. We were, in the process of buying Plaza Real, which is an 88-unit apartment building. Finally closed on it at the end of last year. Did a couple more closings in last year. So, started off this new year with, some good capital, invested it in some other apartments, and, went on and took my trip. I went on a 45-day, trip to just kind of, get out and recuperate and get myself back together. That was something I've always wanted to do, and came back, and we're, really just running a lot of operations right now. We have a portfolio of about 140 units now. With another 200 coming under contract. So we're really trying to refine our systems when it comes to operations, since we're vertically integrated, and really just progress with our business plans on all of our properties. So that's kind of where we are now. Growing the team, getting everybody motivated and leading by example is kind of the things going on right now.
It's kind of that thing that everybody wants to do. They want to have the business and they want to travel. And there's a lot of people that don't, let's say they wait till they're like 40 or 45 or 50, like till they have millions in the bank, right? And all that stuff. Like, kind of why was it so important for you to take that opportunity now, even though you had so much going on, and just kind of why it meant something to you?
Sure. And I think, what really helped me do that is also my business partner, and the team that we have here established already, allowed me to go out and even just decide that I wanted to do it. I think before it was always on my vision board. It was always something that I wanted to do. But, for me to leave the business for a month and a half, I need to really have the team down. I need to really have the systems down. So I felt really comfortable to be able to do that. And it's always something I wanted to do. And it felt really good to be able to put my phone aside for a little bit. There was places without signal. It was, I was in the middle of the Galapagos Islands without any, signal. So the team was running around for me and doing things that, I had trained them to do while I was here, and I prepared myself for that trip.
Well, it's interesting, right? And I was talking to someone about this the other day, like as high achievers or like type A personalities, like, somebody said, stop like making excuses for it. Like, just let it be what it is. And that's who you are. I almost feel like we have to force ourselves in certain situations to give ourselves the permission to turn it off. Like I have a guy that comes in once a week now, and he does like massage, like body work and stuff. And like, it's probably the only part of my week that for an hour and a half, my phone is down. I close like 3 loops in my mind. I built a business yesterday when he was here. I built like 3 businesses in my mind and like mapped it out. But for me, it was good. But did you find like I'm the type of person, like I have to go so far away from where my stuff is. Like I know like South America and Brazil was amazing, but it almost like, is there some part of you that it almost like forces you to turn it off just a touch?
For sure. Yeah. No, I mean, it was one of those things that it was more of like a gratitude. I was just really grateful for everything. There was a lot of times that I just paused and I just looked at where I was at. I just really looked at, everything in my life, and it was a huge feeling of gratitude, which made me feel really, really good. So, it's one of those things that you kind of have to celebrate your wins. A lot of people say they want to travel when they close their deal, or that, they want to, take a trip when they close their deals, and they don't do it because then another thing gets tied up and another deal comes, another property. So, you just never really find that time. But if you reward yourself, for your hard work, I think, when you really realize, you're feeling a sense of gratitude, I think is the main feeling that I was feeling at that time. Now, whenever I eat, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I put my phone aside. So like you said, I have, 45 minutes of just kind of me, by myself, letting my mind flow. And it's very needed. All that stuff is needed to be able to pause for a little bit. And that 45-day pause really helped me a lot. I came back fired up.
Yeah, no. And what's wild is like anybody that's listening to Adrian now, you're like, oh, this kid's like, whatever, he got lucky or whatever. Like, homeboy's been rocking since 17, and so the reason that this conversation's happening, the reason that he's, happy to sin is like we're trying to give hope, which I probably speak to about two a week, to a young 18-year-old or 19-year-old getting started and going, in a short amount of time with the right amount of focus and the right amount of people surrounded you, you can create. And, John was talking about you on the podcast. I just interviewed him last week. And he was like, Adrian walked in coachable. He asked questions. He said to this day, he still asks questions. And look, as high achievers and pushers of people and drivers of our own self, there's a lot of what we don't need the answer to. But like when I'm sitting in a conversation on Saturday with a dude who's worth $50 million, like I'm asking questions. Like homeboy's raking $300K a month in residual income. Like I got questions.
A lot.
But then you have young dudes who just want to like front. And I'm like, dude, just be humble. Like there's no need to spray what you're doing. As much as you document what you do, I feel like you also kind of work in silence too. Like you're not the guy that needs the flash. And so like, where did you get that from? Like, just kind of like, it's like almost like a humble aggressiveness. If that's even a word, but
I just, I'm kind of tired of, people putting too much effort in those things. I think, people invest a lot of energy and effort into faking it or trying to impress somebody that, really doesn't, they have no toll in my life. They have no effect on my life. Why should I want to try to impress them? I think for me, when I post on social media or when I'm on social media, it's for branding purposes. Mm-hmm. It's not to impress anybody. It's just, content creation. Sometimes I'm so busy that I forget, or, I'd rather, come out of the dirt. I'd rather come out, 6 months later with 850 units and people ask me like, what were you doing? I'd rather that happen, and that will fire me more up than people actually coming along, on my journey. I just, I'm that type of person, and I like to catch people while they're sleeping.
I have a really good friend who's a high-level marketer, and he does everything for big companies. And we had like a talk like a couple of weeks ago, and I'm trying to get the YouTube dialed in and all this stupid shit. He was like, "Listen, you need to calm down." He was like, "Marketing is really simple," and I was like, "What are you talking about? Like this is so uncomfortable." He was like, "Well, what have you done?" And I like listed off like, "Well, I've done this, and like I've lost this much weight, and like my coaching clients are happy, and all this shit, right?" And he's like, "Okay, well, there you go, you're good." Like
that's all you need.
He goes, yeah. Your results are your marketing. So if that's the case, then you should never have to feel uncomfortable about it, because all you're doing is basically regurgitating what you actually have done.
Yeah.
Instead of instead of putting in perception what you haven't. And I think that's where everybody gets it twisted.
Yeah. Yeah. And to follow up on what you were saying earlier about, those young, hungry, people who want to come into the game, they have to be asking the right questions. I think I get a lot, asked a lot on Instagram and Facebook, and, through messages on kind of the same simple questions I've heard all my career. I want to get started in real estate. How do I buy my first house? Do you recommend flipping it, financing it? Burr method. I mean, they're asking me for the recommendations on what they want to do, and it's just like, well, I mean, what do you want, right? I mean, there's a lot of strategies in real estate, but I think asking the right questions to someone who you want to learn from is important, and doing your own research, and do the research in the beginning as much as you can. Get a little bit of information. Don't pick up all the books. Go out and knock doors, cold call. I mean, the highest, I mean, I won't go around it. The highest value activity in, starting off finding deals is call owners, like drive around, get in front of them, call them. Like, there's no cheaper way. There's no better way, but people still make excuses for that. So, I mean, I'm kind of just sick and tired of all the excuses, and I just either don't respond or, send a long ass voice message, and that's it. And hope that they, take action on that. But I think it's important to just take massive action on that stuff.
I can't tell you how many guys will DM me and they're like, I'll do anything to take 30 minutes of your time. And I'm like, all right, I'll schedule it. And then they don't show up to the meeting. And I'm like, dude, I could be the guy that introduced you to the guy that could change your life, but you're not willing to put in the effort. Like, I'm done. And if you think that you're going to get me again, you're, I'm sorry. You know what I try to tell everybody? God, I don't want to sound conceited. Let me see.
Nah, man. You're confident.
No. But what I'm saying is you better get David Goggins while he's cheap, bro. Because here's the thing, here's what people don't understand. As many people as I coach for real, I also coach a small percentage for free. And why are those people being coached by me for free when I cost this much? Is because they've added value to my life. There's value in them that they're giving me. Maybe who knows what they're giving me, or if they're in recovery or whatever. But where we get it twisted in the young mind is that every dollar is created equal. Every situation is created equal. None of it. Even when you talk to big dogs, right, where you need them to invest, they're like, okay, let me know when that deal comes in. They don't want they don't care about this thing because each deal carries a different way. Each situation carries a different way. But we don't look at things like that. We want to broad stroke everything. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, no, not at all, man. Not at all.
So, guys, I want to share a story with you, just how savage Mr. Salazar is. So when I got divorced, and I got back to Texas, I met with the guy. And it was right when I got back from Texas, and business had kind of been whatever. And I'm still going through a divorce. It was pretty fresh. And you said to me straight up, you probably don't even remember. You said, listen, all that's great. I can get that that's very stressful. But what if you took all the energy you had and you drove that into your business? What would that do to your business? And then right after that, I took all that stress and energy and I drove it in my business, and then grew my coaching business to, enough to sustain me and then continue past that. And so, it was a very wise advice from a young guy to kind of kick me in the teeth. And that's what you need with your circle. That's what you need with the people around you to say, listen, dude, I get it, bro. This fucking sucks, bro. But what if you were to stop focusing on the negatives and you were to take the negatives and you were to put it into the positives? And so, I just wanted to tell you that I'm forever grateful for that conversation.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. And I think, we have to, because there will be negatives like that. There will be a lot of things going on in our life, but we have to just be aware. And we have to accept that feeling that we're feeling. I think a lot of people try not to accept the way they're feeling, and it just kind of, throws them all different directions. Accept the way you're feeling. Why are you feeling that way? And know that you can change it. And knowing that you can change it, how do you change it? Well, put yourself in a different state. I mean, go out for a run, eat cleaner, go to the gym, go to the properties, get in your car, take a drive, do different things that'll put you in a different state. But being aware of the way you feel, and then just kind of transmuting that energy into, like you said, the business, I think can really take you to heights that, you've never dreamed of. So,
no, I couldn't agree more. And what I want to do, if you would placate me for a little bit, and you don't have, this fucking, I've probably told this story to 60 million people, because I think it's the story of fucking I think it's like should be written about in the history books of how you don't give up on a fucking deal and the fortitude. So, kind of lay the groundwork, put us through this fucking crazy ass story, dude. Guys, buckle up because let me tell you something. There's a lot of you giving up on life or your dreams or your goals. And I hope that this story can give you fucking some inspiration.
Sure. So talking about the 88 unit, me
Yeah.
flying. Okay.
Yeah.
So, backtrack a little, I guess 2 years ago, we got a lead for an 88 unit apartment complex in McAllen that was, 70% occupied. We couldn't make the numbers work. And so we ended up passing on it. And then, fast forward a year and a half, we followed up with the owner, and it's still same condition, 70%, and we couldn't get a loan on it. We couldn't get an agency loan on it, the loans that we like to get, cheapest ones. So we ended up negotiating with the owner to go in there and pick up all the rents, so get all the units back up, rent ready. Brought our management team, leased about 20 units in 12 days, and we got it up to like 93%. And finally went under contract. So, it was our biggest raise yet, $2.3 million. So we're going, hitting the phones, running and trying to get a lot of investors to invest with us. And during that time, we were also, doing acquisitions, marketing. So we ended up finding another off-market opportunity here locally. It was a 33 unit, apartment complex that we ended up getting under contract. At the same time, we're raising money. So, looking for a buyer for this next deal, found the buyer, got under contract. I mean, I don't have to explain the wholesale process, but it's definitely one that you have to stay on top of. You have to get, it's a whole nother job of itself. So, while I was doing that, we're raising money, and, long story short, the owners, we needed to extend the contract. They extended it one time. We needed to do it again. They didn't want to do it again. And we were supposed to close, when was it? On Thanksgiving Day, I think it was supposed to be closed. But since it was Thanksgiving, according to the contract, Monday was the day that we were supposed to close. We lose the earnest money. So I think it was, Tuesday or Wednesday when
how much earnest money was on the table?
$54,000. Okay. Yeah. So, and more, because we had the loan, team, we had the legal team, upfront deposits. I mean, it was almost a good $90,000 total. So, Tuesday, the owners are telling us they didn't want to extend the contract. The attorneys got involved, and, we're just kind of like shit out of luck. And, next day, Mauricio and I are just freaking out. We're going to have to return all the investors' money. We put in so much work into this deal. It was a good 7 or 8 months of, raising money before we got it under contract to close. So it was a good long time. And I mean, again, also during all of this, we're, doing this wholesale deal. So basically the owners, reached out to us and said that they're not going to extend, and that was it. And Wednesday came along and everyone kind of gave up and said, I mean, we're going to lose some, and we're just going to have to take L's. Big dogs have to take L's too. And that kind of didn't really sit well in my head. It was late at night. It was probably 10 o'clock at night. And I mean, everyone left. I was by myself, and I said, I'm going to get to Lubbock. So basically one of the owners, the majority owner, lives in Lubbock. But all the other guys were kind of just, representing him. So I knew that I couldn't spend any time on the guys who, were representing him. I needed to get to the main guy, the decision maker. So ended up booking a flight on Thanksgiving morning at like 7 o'clock to Lubbock, one way. And I didn't even have a hotel. I just, wanted to get there. I had maybe one change of clothes. And I told myself, I'm not leaving until I find this guy, and he's going to have to tell me no in person. I mean, that was my goals, to have him tell me no in person. So flew out there, got a random hotel, sketchy place, but whatever, got it done, got an Uber, started finding all his addresses, started skip tracing, started really, doing my homework, my background checks, found a lot of family, found a lot of friends. And so, Ubers kind of were freaking out because I was kind of basically stalking someone. So I ended up having to rent a car. So I rented a car and started, doing my own driving, and finally found the guy's house, knocked on his door. No one came out. I heard people in the house, so I decided to drive a little bit more around, find other, members in case he didn't open the door again. Came back around second time, maybe like 4 hours later. Again, I heard someone there, didn't answer. Came back a third time. Finally, his wife answered, like at 7 o'clock at night on Friday or Saturday, and she opened the door, super freaked out because they had just gone by a drive-by shooting. They had just gone through a drive-by shooting about a week and a half before I knocked on their door. And she basically like pointed at the window and she was like, "Look, this is why I haven't been answering the door. Like, you freaked me out. I didn't know you were the Plaza Royale buyer." And sure enough, there was bullet holes all in the window. And I was like, "Oh shit, like, damn." And I was like, "Why are you opening the door?" And so she was like, "Chase not home. Let me call him real quick." Talk to him on the phone. I said, "Hey, sir, my name's Adrian. I'm here to talk to you about Plaza Royale. I heard you don't want to extend the contract, but I'm here to, ask you like why. I want to know, what the main reason is that you're not willing to extend." He's like, "Son, you're going to waste your time. Go back, be with your family. It's Thanksgiving. Don't worry about it. I mean, you'll get another one." And I was like, "No, I'm not leaving. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not going to leave back home until you get here." And he was like, "Okay, tomorrow, come by my house and we'll have some coffee." So leave the house, call Mauricio, like, "Yo, I think we have another shot, man. Like, we have to come up with any freaking tool in the toolbox that we can use. I mean, if we need to come up on price, can we do it? If not, I mean, what do we need to do?" Right. And so he was like, "What? Like, what?" Everyone was freaking out. And so ended up like going back, I mean, pulling up computers, pulling up spreadsheets, just really trying to see what we needed to do to make it work and go back to his house. Long story short, and I mean, we were there for like 7 hours, man, on his dining table. I mean, super strict guy. Like, all of his business partners didn't know, like how I did it, because supposedly like no one changes his mind. No one, and so, I mean, I built rapport. We're talking about Airbnbs, we're talking about traveling. And that's another, why to my traveling. I mean, now I have things to say to other successful people, and so we started talking about traveling, Airbnbs, real estate, money management. And I mean, it just went on and on and on. For the first 5 hours, we didn't talk about Plaza Royale. And the last couple hours, it was like, all right, so, I mean, we're here. I mean, we're here for one thing and one thing only, right? I mean, he knew what I wanted. I ended up giving him a little bit more money, but we brought him in as equity partner on the deal. So now he's invested about, I mean, I don't know what, $200K on the deal. So he's also reaping rewards on there. But I mean, it was a very, very uncomfortable feeling. Honestly, I was very uncomfortable. I think that was, I've made more money on other deals than this deal, but this is probably by far my favorite from start to finish, close, because of the memory that it, that it left me with, and what I won, man, what I achieved. And I really, I mean, leaving Lubbock back home, knowing that, I got it done. I mean, what else can't I do? Like, what can't I do? I mean, and that's what I like to tell everybody, like, you'll be surprised at some of the things that, you can pull out, and you just got to believe, and you got to be committed. I mean, no one else, everyone was, lost. Everyone was just like, that's it, we lost. And I mean, I turned it around. I didn't want to go to sleep knowing that I didn't do anything I could have possibly done to get the deal back. And so now, I mean, that's our biggest deal to date. It's going amazing. And that put us at 140 units. So it was either going to be buy that deal or go back to like that, small 30 unit guy that I was, So I mean, definitely it was a very uncomfortable feeling, but I think, I got it done for the team. And now, not only that, but I mean, we employ, 15 employees. There's contractors, vendors, cleaning ladies, AC guys, electricians, all these guys that have a lot of work from just this property alone. So I didn't just do it for me. I did it for everybody else involved.
What's interesting is I've been forming a theory recently, and I almost think that everything that we do doesn't matter. And hear me out on that. Is that like what I'm realizing is like everything I've been through and everything that I do currently on a day-to-day basis just sharpens who I am as a person. And so if that's the case, then why wouldn't we just try all the time? Like, good, bad, or indifferent, right? Like, you see dudes, like I have friends who manages like $5 billion, right? And he's watched somebody lose $350 million in a day with a trade, right? And I asked him, I'm like, dude, how the fuck does like somebody like not like, how do they keep going? And like, don't get me wrong, that guy's like hurt for a little while, but my dude executes like $2 billion trades. Like, I mean, what I realize is like, you just keep putting yourself in those situations. You just keep not taking no for an answer. You said it there at the end perfectly. You keep making the deal bigger than you. Yeah. And I try to tell every flipper that I meet, if you would reposition the way that you look at your business and say, I'm feeding families, then you would be way less emotional about real estate. Yeah. Right. And I was talking to somebody that the other day, like, listen, you could say or don't say anything you want about Grant Cardone. I have my own feelings from time to time, but I did finish Undercover Billionaire. And what I took from that entire show was people just need a chance. There's amazing humans out there that don't want to be the CEO, that don't want to be the investor, but you can create jobs within your organization for great people and lead them. And some will leave and some will stay and so on and so on. And when I met you the first time, I told you, before I even really knew you, I told you that what you were doing was bigger than you. Yeah. And you were like, what? And I was like, dude, you're Hispanic. Like, by the way, just so if you haven't realized, I'm basically Hispanic. Like, I don't know if I've let all my Hispanic guys know I'm not really the white guy anymore. I basically hang out with only multifamily Hispanic investors. So I don't know why that's the case. But what I'm saying is, I had an amazing conversation with two young African Americans this morning who want to get into real estate and learn. And it has nothing to do with they're African American. But I said to them, what you're doing matters more than what I'm doing. And they're like, I don't get it. And I'm like, because you're showing that community, that ethnicity, that it matters. And I can be the owner and I can be this person. And that's what you're doing. And that's why I literally don't give a fuck how many units you have. But what I care about is how much you care about the people that you care about, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're the ones essentially that drive your business. I mean, I'm not there right now. I'm not at the properties right now. I'm trusting that they're doing their job and they're doing, what they're told to do and what they, think is right. Right. And following the plan, but it's a matter of communicating it right. Because, when you're operating apartments, I mean, you have a whole team that looks up to you. I mean, what do I do in this scenario? What do I do here? So, I mean, you have to be able to train them and educate them properly. And in return, they get paid good, or they're just, they're respected in the marketplace. And I also recommend them to like other jobs and stuff if they're kind of slow in work. So, I mean, I'm in there to help them out and they're there to help me out. On Sunday, there was like a crazy leak and, I had to call a plumber on Sunday at 8:00 at night. Go out there and fix it. And because we have a very good relationship and he knows that I'll go, above and beyond for him, he went above and beyond for me. He got it done, fixed the problem. But if I didn't have a good relationship or if I thought about me all the time, I promise he wouldn't have showed up, So I mean, it goes a long way.
Yeah. And it's as a CEO and a leader of businesses, my favorite quote that I leanched onto 2 weeks ago that I've said 17 bajillion times is George Bernard Shaw said the greatest problem, the greatest illusion with communication the greatest problem with communication is the illusion that has taken place. And it's at the end of the day, just because you're a visionary and just because you're the one that's leading the thing doesn't mean that you properly communicated why we're doing it, why we need it. And I think it's really funny where you told me that like you started like cutting some trees down and you started like painting some areas of the new apartment complex and like all the tenants were like reaching out to you and they're like, holy crap, dude. Like it's the first time like, and so talk about like you're not just buying apartments, like you're creating communities. Like talk about how important it is to you to let the people know, because like you're a landlord, whether or not, like if you don't realize that you're a landlord, I don't know what you're doing, because those people matter. And the more they matter and the more they think that you care, they're going to stay longer. They're going to treat their place better, so on and so on.
Sure. Yeah. And I mean, those are the only opportunities we look for. We look for those opportunities that need that help. So, when we go in there, we already know that, the things that we need to do, the deferred maintenance, we already have a list. We already have everything to go. So the minute we close, I mean, we start with our plan. And, there's several residents have already come up to us and said, y'all have done more in the first 2-3 months than the owners have done, before you guys in the last 10 years. So that definitely feels good. But I still don't see, like, I don't know, I'm one of those that's just never satisfied kind of thing. So like, I'm just like, just wait, just keep on waiting. You guys are going to see this place continue to turn around. I mean, all the lighting that we're planning on doing, all the interior artwork, all the exterior lighting, exterior artwork. I mean, everything's going to be completely different, but it does feel good when, when they come in, to the leasing office and say, wow, this looks really nice. And I like, you can see the way that they feel very comfortable. Tenants have been there 5, 10 years, 15 years. So, and them okay paying the rent raises. We also give them rent raises, and they, most of them have said yes, no doubt. So, we go in there and implement our maintenance stuff. Our maintenance team is very good. They handle all the little problems, take care of it quickly. So that's I mean, as long as the whole team's kind of working, all the residents stay happy, and in return pay their rent on time. Are susceptible to change. If we need to implement a new, online portal, they'll help us with the implementation. But if you're not fixing their stuff, I mean, they're not gonna listen to you guys. So it's very important to put them in front of you.
Mm-hmm. And how do you like? 'Cause you like. How do you stay so locked in? How do you stay so focused every day? Like, what's your advice to everybody out there? Like, how do you keep your mind clean of the negative BS?
I'm just obsessed. I like, really, that's it. I'm obsessed with this industry. I'm obsessed with what I do. I love what I do. I'm passionate about it. I don't, so when you're truly, truly passionate, when you're obsessed with it, when you love what you do, it's very hard for me to get mad. Like, I mean, there's a lot of things that go wrong, but I'm just like, dude, it's okay. Like, it's okay. Let's figure it out. Why did it happen? What do we need to do to fix it? Instead of talking about the problem for 30 minutes, let's just, hey, all right, guys, what do y'all think? What do you think we should do here? All right, idea 1, idea 2, idea 3, ideas. All right, there you go. Now let's start talking ideas instead of the problem. Like, it's ruining all the sheetrock. It's going to cause mold. It's going to go behind the studs. We're going to have to rip out all that. So, no. How do we fix it now? And so, I mean, those are the kind of the things that I do. But as far as like how I stay motivated, I just stay focused. I mean, right now I have my 75-inch TV playing a vision board nonstop right now. I mean, mansions, travel scenes. I constantly look at that. I'm constantly building the business, getting it better, hiring new people. I mean, I'm obsessed with it, man. And I wanna achieve some more things. So
and the people that are around you, like who runs your Airbnbs for you? Like how do you handle all this with everything going on?
So the Airbnb business is, I mean, I probably show up maybe 92, 93%. Sorry, I'm 93% off of it. So I only do about 5 to 10% of it. Right now we have a virtual assistant who basically communicates with all the residents. When they check in, check out, they have house manuals. On day 3, they send this message. On day 6, they send this message. Very automated. Cleaning lady has access to the calendar, so she goes in and out. We buy multiple blankets, multiple towels for her to, be able to have clean ones on deck, since there's a lot of turnover and there's only 4-hour windows. We make sure all that is refilled and all it's done. It's a lot of the VA that has to do with it. And my business partner, pays out cleaning ladies. He, puts the Airbnb listings up. I really just kind of help with the initial launch of the unit. And then I'm kind of just hands off. But I mean, right now at this point, it's very hands off. It's really just a cash flow machine. We have 7 Airbnbs, and we're looking to add another one by the end of probably in a month and a half. We'll add another one, a 3-bedroom house, and it's generating awesome. Yeah.
And those are all in your multifamily units?
No, we have a couple already in another apartment complex that we subleased. So we're paying rent and we're generating.
So you're doing the rent. You're doing the rental arbitrage model. Well,
yeah.
Then why would you have it in your own apartment complex?
Yep. Same way I have it there. Yep.
Oh, so you're renting from yourself, basically?
I'm renting for myself. Yeah.
And that's to keep the occupancy up, so the loan will be qualified. Yeah.
No, not necessarily. Just to be able to pull up a rent roll and show that someone's paying rent there. So I'm paying rent on all the units that I have renovated, and I'm paying the premium rent too. So I mean, I'm
How
not
much?
only helping.
How much are you making above the traditional rent in a model like that?
You're looking about $600 per unit net profit cash flow. So, six
How much
times.
does it take to furnish it? Like, how much are you invested in that since?
650 square feet, I spent about 6,000 on
Okay.
furniture. And then on a two and a half, 1,200 square feet, spent about 8.5, 9,000. And then on a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,400 square feet, I'm thinking about 12 to like 14,000. But I mean, tremendous cash on cash returns. If you look at it on cash wise, if you do the 600 net profit per unit, times 12 and divided by the amount you put in, I mean, you do the math. I mean, you're talking 20s, 25s, 30s cash on cash. And so, I mean, it's a very good business, a lot of turnover. So, I mean, I think, for those wanting to get started in Airbnb, it's fun. It looks sexy, but you need to have a team. You need to have those daily tasks delegated as soon as possible for it to even be something to consider, like to scale. Because I mean, I'm trying to scale it, right? I'm working on scaling it. And the only way to scale the Airbnb business is by having those teams in place and those systems down. Because it's also based on reviews. So you also want to make sure you're getting quality reviews. But yeah, no, it's doing really well. I mean, right now we're looking to buy more apartments and, continue to do that. So, I mean, I think it's helping me a lot more kind of take a step back now that there's a team involved. I mean, we have 5 people, kind of running the day-to-day stuff, checking out units, sending me pictures. So a lot of the work that I do now is kind of, behind the screen. But I've done it before, so I can't say that I haven't. So whenever I'm training somebody new, I can tell them that I've done it. But it's really just focus. It's a lot of focus too.
What is if I were to say like who's Adrian at 35? What do you I mean, like, what do you like, seriously? Like, no, I'm dead serious. Like, all my friends that are young and highly successful already, like, I'm interested. I'm interested to see, like, they've got like fucking 60 plus years. Like, I'm interested to see, like, what like life runs through seasons. Not that you'll ever stop investing, but I'm just curious, like, if there's anything that you want to chase down that like maybe later on that you like, maybe something that you would want to do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm exploring the idea of building an app, actually, a real estate, app where, property management's integrated, construction management's integrated, investor relations, construction materials, Pinterest, newest models, newest themes. I want that, that kind of hub on an app eventually. Probably in like a year or 2 years, I can probably start building it, and then eventually sell that. Sell some sort of software or app or something that's going to sell for a couple $100 million or something. That's what I could see. A 10-year goal, family, house. I definitely want the boats and the choppers, and to continue giving back to different families across the world as well. I want to continue traveling. I also want to build an ecosystem in like a third world country that produces on its own solar panels, water systems, virtual TVs, virtual learning, internet, where they can all the kids and families and stuff can use it as a resource.
Well,
it'll be self-sustainable. So I'm going to raise that money. I'm going to raise that money from all my investor friends.
Well, you got your first investor right here.
All right.
I'm already in. I don't even give a shit. So all my businesses will kick in a portion to do that for sure.
There you go. And I'll get all my rich friends to take their jets too, so we can fly materials over there and stuff. But I want some epic stuff, man. I mean, there's no reason why we shouldn't live an extraordinary life, and I think that's my goal.
Do you ever watch this? You don't watch TV, but one of my favorite shows is a show called Suits, and it's these high-powered attorneys like that do like, and he's like a very interesting cat that likes to travel. He loves the good life, and he says this quote. It's always kind of stuck with me. He said, everybody likes to live life here. I like to live life here. Yeah. And it's just one of those things. And then my other show, Billions, he says, what's the point of having fuck you money if you can't say fuck you? and at the end of the day, this is an argument that I'll take till the day I walk off this earth. All of you want to support and you want to create impact, which can be done, but I guarantee you a lot more of it can be done with a lot of money. And so all my friends want to create businesses and commerce and wealth so they can give it back. And, one of my big, I'll leave that for, I don't like to spread my shit out, but one of my things is like, I want to be able to give back to people. I want to be able to, I spent 20 years in the restaurant business. I have met amazing humans that have worked their ass off for years, and all they want is a chance. They just want like a job. They want, or like, they're not looking for a handout. They just want like a new opportunity, a fresh start. And if we can do that in foreign countries, and we can do that in things, and, it's when you're at a place where like, and financially, I'm not talking about financially, but when you're at a place in your life, I'm 38 now, things hit me different. Like, yeah, I want the businesses and everything, but I actually get way more thrill out of like buying my best friend's like 12-year-old, like Rich Dad Poor Dad. Like that $13 is the best $13 I've ever spent. And then I make them give me a report back on it. Like that shit makes me so excited. So we have to make sure that when we're pursuing the dreams and the goals that we want, everybody's so worried about, passion and purpose and all this shit. But like, as Adrian's talking, like, just realize that like what gives you energy gives you life. And so if it fills you up, no matter if it's fucking milking goats or fucking flying out of airplanes or buying helicopters, whatever the fuck that is. I tell you what I'm sick of is, and I say this to everybody. Let's say that like 26 homeboy over there owns like 300 units and he drives a Lamborghini, right? Let's just say for shits and grits. And you look at him and you go, fucking douchebag. But you don't know him. And let's say that he didn't have a father, or his father died when he was 10, and they grew up fixing Lamborghinis together, and that's all he gave a shit about. Like, perspective is everything. So stop casting stones on other people, what they value to themselves, and just go live your values. And more importantly, don't think that people are going to live your values. Like what's important to you and what's important to Adrian and what's important to you, that's all that matters. And stop seeking external forces to fill up your value proposition. Get clear on what you want and go out and succeed and go out and crush your own goals.
Yeah. Look yourself in the mirror. I mean, for you to have time to point fingers and to, judge other people, and, people love talking about people, and it feeds them sometimes, when in reality they should be talking to themselves. Have the conversation with yourself. Look yourself in the mirror. What do you want in life? Like you said, figure it out. If you haven't figured it out, figure it out. You're wasting time. So go out there, figure it out. What it is you want. Whether it's real estate, whether it's anything else, just figure it out. Commit to it and commit to being successful. I mean, success takes commitment. And a lot of it, if you want a lot of success. So
yeah, a big old bowl of it. So if people want to find more about your journey, follow your trips and everything, how would they do that?
Instagram is probably the best one. Instagram's the most active for me. Of course, I post on Facebook, but it has my journey too. I mean, you can go back and see me doing house deals and, taking pictures of homeowners and stuff. So I like to keep all that raw. And I post every now and then some of the updates on the renovations, but you can reach out, send me a good question and I might answer it. But yeah, no, reach out through there or however, but Instagram is probably the best way.
Guys, if you like this episode, send it to your friend, share it with somebody that you think you can get some value from it, rate us and review us, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you for listening to Construct Your Life with Austin Linney. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to rate, review, subscribe, and pay it forward by sharing with a friend. Most importantly, take this opportunity to start constructing your life by taking immediate action on what you learned. For show notes, resources, and more information on one-on-one coaching with Austin, visit constructyourlifepodcast.com.